Welcome to the Sandhills Baptist Association podcast with Don Cherry, sharing stories of churches working together for the gospel.
Hello, folks. This is Don Cherry of the Sandhills Baptist Association with North Carolina Southern Baptist Convention, and we're happy that you joined us today for our podcast. And today, our guest is Becky Foreman, and all who serves with the Care Pregnancy Center here in Carthage, North Carolina. And Becky, thank you for being with us
today. Thank you so
today.
much for having me.
We hear so much in our culture today, of course, with the abortion thing, the abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood and everything, and then now the rise of what we call care pregnancy centers that are really just the opposite. So tell us a little bit about the center, maybe how long it's been there, and just some of the services that you offer.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, I'm Becky Foreman. I'm the Executive Director of Life Care Pregnancy Center, and Life Care Pregnancy Center actually has been around for 34 years.
The one in Carthage?
Well, they moved locations in 2015.
Okay.
But it started out as several Christian churches coming together to support moms and babies and have, sort of life-affirming support for women in our community that might be facing unexpected pregnancies. And so it has evolved over time, and we're so thankful for the benevolence of our community because we are able to do what we do, which is to provide educational resources, material services for our clients, and just generally support women and families, dads, children, support them on their journey.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now let me ask you, since I'm a guy, I don't totally understand, everything over there that you might deal with. Do you have young ladies in this situation? Are they just kind of like walking in the front door and saying help, or how do you go about ministering to those in that condition?
Absolutely. I think, every day is a different day, and every individual has a different story. So how our clients come to us, it looks very different all the time. It could be word of mouth. We now have a mobile unit, so that is getting us out a little bit more.
I saw that the other day. I thought, hey, I recognize them.
Yeah, so that's really helpful, for
Okay.
people to see. But in general, we have people who come to us who are facing a curveball in their life, and they are looking for accurate information, and we have accurate information for them. But we also have the ability to support them in this new venture in their life. And that could be even making an adoption plan. But we want them to have all of the information that they need. So yes, we do have people who walk in the door and say, I am pregnant. I did not expect to be pregnant. I don't know where to go from here. What do we do? We also have fathers who come in, who maybe have found themselves into a single fatherhood, and they say, I don't know what to do. How can you help me? So we're here for everybody, and really ultimately we want to lay a strong foundation for Moore County, because this is the future of our community.
Right. Now, you mentioned education, such as that. I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, and everything, I assume that the bulk of your support probably comes from churches and Christian organizations like that. Do you also work with churches, say, you've got this client, that comes in and you find out they live here, and here's a church. Do you try to get them engaged with that church, or at least let that church know about them? Is that part of it?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in that we are Christian-based. We are a Christian-based ministry. And so the largest part of what we do is we try to bring Jesus to our clients. That is what we do.
Okay.
Now, we'll serve anybody who walks in the door.
Sure.
But we never shy away from being a Christian ministry. And so everything we do is from a Christian lens. We are so thankful because churches, organizations, and individuals support our center, whether it's a monthly donation or even a baby bottle campaign through a church. Those are just massive for us. It allows us really to do what we do. But we do also get our clients connected to different churches because confidentiality is so very important.
Oh, yeah.
We want to make sure that we do not give out any personal information. So what we do is we sort of leave it up to our clients, but it is really important to us to get our clients connected into a church community. And we very much promote Embrace Grace, which is a program that a church is able to sponsor or bring on. That is a Bible study for single mothers to go. And it's beautiful. It was started by this woman, not to go out on a tangent, but this lady named Amy Ford, who herself was facing an unexpected pregnancy as a teenager and was kicked out of her church.
Kicked out.
And so then years later, the pastor called her and he said, I was wrong for what I did. And will you come to my church so I can apologize to you? And she brought her son. He was 16. She actually ended up marrying the father of her son. They had more children. And in that moment when this pastor humbly apologized to her in front of his congregation, she felt convicted by the Lord to start something where churches can have something within the church that embrace these girls and women. And it's Christian based, of course. It's a Bible study, and then at the end the church throws a baby shower. So we get them connected to any group that's going on within Moore County. Right now we're actually pretty limited, so if any churches want to take that on, it's highly recommended. It's wonderful. But then the girl kind of maybe starts to feel a little comfortable with that church community. She gets to know people and gets plugged in. So it's certainly something we hope and promote to get these gals into a church community. Yes.
I would certainly be willing to take that information and promote it among our pastors.
Great.
And all. We're having a meeting coming up in August.
Awesome.
I call it our pre-fall meeting, where I can just take time and speak to our pastors in general rather than the association at large, deal with them.
Yeah.
And if you can get me that material, I'll be more than glad to let them know that this exists. Because I guarantee you, probably in every church, you got some single moms.
Absolutely.
There. Or, there may be that dad that he's got a couple, and the mom's who knows where.
That's right.
All like that. So, definitely something needed. Because I was a little bit torn when you said that, to even think that would happen, that a pastor would come along and tell a girl that well, you need to leave and everything, whatever. And I guess I'll probably get in trouble here, but I don't care anymore. Kind of old thinking and such, because I have heard of situations. I remember when Roe v. Wade got turned over, and I remember a story that came out that there was a group of religious leaders that contacted the governor, Governor Abbott, there of Texas, and said, please don't eliminate abortion. That just blew my mind. Now I understand there are extreme circumstances and all, but abortion's murder. I'm just going to say it, whatever like that. That is a human life, that didn't ask to be brought into this world, but now is going to be eliminated, for like that. And just to hear Christian churches saying something like that, it just really threw me, in there. So I think there is importance where the church is engaging. That's why I'll give you a good example and everything. I grew up in a single parent home, mom, and back at a time when divorced women were kind of looked down upon and everything. Fortunately, this church embraced us and everything. I mean, they wanted us there. We got involved. Mom was active in different ministries there, as were our kids. I guarantee you at that age that we went, because I think I was about 13 when we started going there. If that church would have said, oh, you're a single mom, you can come and sit, but you can't do this and your kids can't, I probably wouldn't be in church today.
That's right.
I would just say, if that's your God, I don't need him. You know, I like the embrace grace. You know, grace. Don't get me wrong. Grace isn't a license to go out and do whatever you want and say, "Oh, hey, God, forgive me."
That's
you know,
right.
but grace is really the grace and mercy of God
That's right.
toward us because we are going to goof up.
That's right.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't mean to keep going on and that
Oh, no,
and everything,
thank you.
but
That was beautiful.
you mentioned that with that, and that pastor did so right to come back and say, "I blew it." You know, so many of them wouldn't do that. But these girls, these young men, everything, if they can't find acceptance in the house of God,
Yeah.
then I don't know where they're going to get it.
That's right.
You know, and we definitely need to minister love. We need to minister grace. We also need to minister, I think, correction too.
Absolutely.
You know, thing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they probably knew, oops, I blew it. You know.
Yeah, you know, and it's truth with love.
Yeah.
You know, we can't ever shy away from the truth. You know, when I meet with clients, I'll tell them sometimes I can tell maybe they're holding back or they're embarrassed or there's some shame there. And I tell them, and it's the truth. You know, there's really nothing you can tell me that I've not heard before. But we have to deal with the truth, whatever that is. And so, you know, again, we have people from all walks of life.
Sure.
And many are facing very challenging circumstances. And so we have to look at, okay, well, what is pro-life? What does that look like? And in my view, and this is my opinion, it's not just one lane. Now, all the lanes are important, but it's not just one lane. It's a wide net. And so it could mean those educational resources or those material services, or it could be, you know, access to quality information, getting connected into churches. And we also have, you know, a doula that works with us and goes on walks with our moms.
Okay.
Just simple things, even coming and doing, you know, making bouquets, little simple things, feeling connected to other moms. And so these are just things, you know, walking with our clients, even through the First Health, First Futures program, through Sandhills. It's a wonderful scholarship opportunity. We have several of our clients that are doing that so that they can better their lives. We get to attend those graduations. We get to be a part of that. Working with maternity homes, wonderful. Jeremiah House is incredible. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're wonderful. Cheryl Welton, but it's a beautiful maternity home. And, you know, we have had, you know, clients that have taken that opportunity and it's launched them into a better space. So, you know, these are just different things that we are able to connect with community resources and come together to support Moore County residents and beyond as they walk this journey towards life.
Okay. Do you see are parents of the pregnant girl or whatever like that, or do you see them generally, acceptance is not the word I'm looking at, supportive and everything of, you know, working with a care pregnancy center and such as like that? You know, I'm sure, I hate to think of there's some parents out there that say, get out. I don't know. But I'm just wondering, are parents coming along saying, yeah, hey, we support you doing this, you know, and how can we help? Do you see parents doing that?
We do. We see parents who, you know, really it's a spectrum. And we do have, you know, parents who encourage their daughter to have an abortion. And they do not support them when they decide to parent. But we also have the other side of that where we have the mom, the aunt, the grandmother who found us and who got us connected and brought her in and support the entire process.
Wow.
So it really just depends on the culture of the family and the familial dynamic, which again, every case is so different.
So tell me real quick, and I'm just going to, what would be the top 3 resources that you offer as a care pregnancy center?
Well, certainly, you know, we are faith-based, and so we always offer Bible study. And any client who has aged out, and I say aged out because we're with mom through all 9 months of pregnancy and then first 18 months of baby's life.
Okay.
So if mom's having multiple children, we could be with her for a long, long time.
Okay.
And we're kind of like a family in that way. We're very close to our clients, and we do have some that come back after they age out because we will allow them to continue to come to the Bible studies regardless.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we do have English and Spanish Bible study. So of course that, you know, being a Christian ministry, that's top priority, but also our material services. And really in this economy, but anytime, but especially in this economy, diapers are very, very expensive. And so we do offer that mommy bag with diapers, wipes, and outfit, sometimes formula, sometimes extra things. We have some ladies who make beautiful blankets for the babies. And then we have incentives as well, and those incentives, per every 5 visits, our clients are eligible for a bigger item. So that could be a case of diapers or a case of wipes. It could also be a gift card. It could be, we have cribs. It depends on what the incentives. It does depend on what we have. And then so that would be a big bucket for our gals. And then of course, our medical team. Keeping our medical team trained. And we have a wonderful nurse manager, Dorothy Murtaugh, who is absolutely a gift from God, and she truly is wonderful. But we also have a ton of nurse volunteers. My mom is actually one of them.
Oh, great.
My mom was a labor and delivery nurse for 28 years.
Oh, my.
And she came back, and she's been trained and comes every week to help with the sonography. So, but training continues always, and so we have to make sure that they're fully trained. So all of those areas, I would say, are very, very important, because again, with the medical team, we do provide limited medical, so we can provide those ultrasounds, especially for any mom who has not been scanned yet in early pregnancy, but especially for the moms who might be, you know, unsure how to move forward. We're able to show that mom that heartbeat and their little baby. Sometimes we see the little baby waving at us, which is a whole lot of fun.
Sure, I bet it is. I bet it is. Well, listen, if you would just let us know here, how would somebody go about supporting the Care Pregnancy Center?
There are many ways. Certainly, if your church community would like to do a baby bottle campaign, those are absolutely wonderful. And we're so thankful for those. Individuals do come in and help teach classes. So depending on you know, what your expertise might be, if you would like to come in and teach a class, we would love that. We do have volunteers that come in and fill mommy bags, and our volunteer need ebbs and flows. But certainly please reach out to the center if you are interested in volunteering with us. And then we could always use diapers. I mean, we give away a lot of diapers.
Yeah.
And right now we are very low in size 4. Size 4, I don't know what it is about that size, but for the past year we have been very low in size 4 diapers. But yes, and boy clothes. For some reason, the 9, 12, and 18-month boy clothes have been really, really low. Okay. So really just reaching out and, you know, hey, what size diapers do you need right now? Or we do have people who do that. We're so thankful, and we have such a generous community.
So now if somebody wanted to give monetarily, how would they go about doing that? Can they give through your website or what?
Yes, absolutely. So on our website, we have a little donate button. And actually, I know you all shared our flyer on your Facebook page. So there's a QR code on that flyer. So you can go on there, and it will allow you to do a monthly donation or a one-time gift. So those are different options that you can
Okay.
have. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. I
Thank you for
appreciate you
having me.
filling us in on the ministry of the Care Pregnancy
Thank you.
Center here in Moore County. I guess you probably cover all of Moore County and
We
even
do.
others.
Yes.
Like that. So thank you so much. And again, if you want to find out more about the Care Pregnancy Center, what is your website?
We have two. We have Friends of LCPC, and that's specifically for those who want to help our mission.
Okay.
And then lifecarepregnancy.com.
lifecarepregnancy.com. Great. Well, thank you for being with us. We look forward to the next time that we'll see you on our podcast. Have a blessed day.
Thanks for listening. For more information or to leave a comment, you can reach us at 910-947-2238 or send an email to sandhills@sandhillsbaptist.org.